Kelvin, we're going to go to football, the NFL. And there's all these comparisons. Rob G, I want you to set it up. So Patrick Mahomes was asked about this Michael Jordan comparison, and Patrick responded.
In all fairness to Patrick Mahomes, the article was about much more than just the Michael Jordan comparison. He was
asked about it.
Yeah,
right?
it was about his career and they called it the box that he's living in. In all facets to football, his family's very involved with politics. His brother's been arrested, his dad's been arrested, and somehow Patrick Mahomes is the Teflon Don because all they care about is the way he plays football. Well, later on in the article, he's asked about the inevitable Michael Jordan comparisons, which, if you ask former Odd Couple member, rest in peace, Chris Broussard, he's the one who started the whole thing, according to Chris. He said,
you want to drop to your knees.
That's right. Chris claims that he's the one who started the MJ Mahomes comparison. Well, Patrick was asked about it, and here's what he said. Quote, obviously, that's the hope, to be someone like Michael Jordan who has an impact on the game. I want to be remembered for winning, obviously, but I also want to be remembered for how much fun it was to watch me play, for the person I was on the field. I have that fire. I want people to enjoy the moment every time.
All right, Rob G. Kelvin, thank you. I got only one thing to say.
What's that?
Patrick Mahomes is officially out of the Michael Jordan comparison. Sorry to say, he is no Michael Jordan, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. I know people want to push this narrative, Chris Broussard and other people. It's just not a legitimate or fair comparison to Michael Jordan. We're watching Patrick Mahomes in his prime right now, last season and this season. He's having two of the worst seasons of his career. Michael Jordan in his prime didn't have down seasons. That we're talking about this year where they're 12-1. His numbers are all-time worse in his career. How can you compare that to Michael Jordan, who ended his career with the Wizards? His second to last year averaged almost 23 points. His last year, he averaged 20. Michael Jordan never had mediocre seasons, ever in his entire career en route to 6 championships. Patrick Mahomes is another quarterback when you talk about the Super Bowls and all the winning. There was a big story that came out before last Super Bowl. I believe it was Sports Illustrated, Rob G. Sports Illustrated put out, Kelvin, the top 25 quarterback Super Bowl performances. This is before last Super Bowl. How many times did Patrick Mahomes appear in the article for the top 25 quarterback Super Bowl performances? Do you have a guess?
The way you're sounding, none.
Yes, there you go. 0. He was not in one of them, and that was before he won the third one. So he won 2, and he didn't have a moment because he didn't play that well. At one point, he was like 1-1 with touchdowns and interceptions in Super Bowls. Okay, and they won. Last year, they won the Super Bowl, and you can rank and say, give most of the credit to the defense that won that Super Bowl last year. So there you go. And here's the last point. Supposed to be Michael Jordan, do something special. The whole idea that he has 3 Super Bowls and 3 Super Bowl, I should say, winning 3 Super Bowls before age 27. Guess what? Other players have done it, including Troy Aikman, won 3 Super Bowls before age 27. How is that special if other people have accomplished the same thing? If he was the only one to do it, I would have to look at it totally different. But it tells you that if you're on a good team like Troy Aikman was, it was possible. They won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls, and they were a dynasty. I'm not trying to undress anything that Patrick Mahomes has done in his career. He's had a fabulous career thus far. But the Michael Jordan comparison is overblown, especially in having such a mediocre season this year. Michael Jordan, and I don't care who you are, LeBron fan, Michael Jordan fan, I dare you to tell me when Michael Jordan had a mediocre season in his career, because he didn't have one.
In his career?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, Michael Jordan did have mediocre points in his career. See, this is where people become selective when it comes to Jordan. And I'm not here to talk about Jordan. Jordan is the greatest of all time. But the idea that he was perfect every year, he didn't win for quite a few years, Rob. He didn't win until 1991. He was in the league in 1984. Y'all got to stop acting like he walked right into the league and winning. Meaning, he had years where he put up a bunch of points and it wasn't amounting to anything. Scoring a lot of points, wasn't going anywhere in the postseason. Scoring a bunch of buckets, and Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird all patted him on the head like, oh, he's so cute. Oh, that's so, hey, one day you'll be like us. So let's stop acting like he walked right in to rings. Oh, wait, you know who did? Patrick Mahomes. So he walks right into the NFL, has multiple MVPs, has multiple 3 Super Bowl rings already. He's 27 years old. So the idea that he might play another 10 to 12 years is scary of what this man might accomplish, because there's a great chance he could win this year. Now, you want to say Troy Aikman did something like this again. Oh, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was Ray Allen with the Big Three in Boston when it came to those Dallas Cowboys team. Heck of a player, but he wasn't the guy on the team. He was probably third behind Michael Irvin, behind Emmitt Smith. You could argue Larry Allen and some of those offensive linemen as well. Patrick Mahomes is the best player on this team that has been spectacular, that has won 12 games this year. Now, it's not about him being Michael Jordan right now. The point is, could he be? Tom Brady is considered the greatest quarterback of all time. Tom Brady didn't do it with the pizzazz, the flair, the style of a Patrick Mahomes. And that's also what elevates him and why he has the potential to be the Jordan of quarterback play. Tom Brady is more of a Tim Duncan. It was team-oriented. We got the job done. Fell off for 7-8 years. Bounced back, come back. He's very much Tim Duncan as far as the parallels of the career. Patrick Mahomes is looking like Jordan because of what he's doing. And in fact, again, I bring up, he's already done half of what Jordan did when you talk about winning at 27. Rob, he might go another 10 to 12 years. So what he's done has been remarkable, and it's been something that, again, why people say he's Jordan-esque. It's not saying that he's going to be better than Jordan. Obviously, it's hard to compare when you're talking about two different sports, but what he's done is Jordan-esque. Win, do it with style, do it with flair, and make it so entertaining everybody wants to watch you or hate you. He's done that.
And have mediocre back-to-back seasons? Like last year, can you admit he had a bad season last year?
No, it was not
yes,
bad.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He had a bad,
no. It was not a bad season,
yes,
Rob.
It was. Yes, he had 13 interceptions. He had a bad.
That's not a bad season.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Troy
it is.
Aikman is in the Hall of Fame. You know how many times he threw 13 interceptions in a year?
Last year, if you watched him, you're going to say this year, all of his stats, it is not these are not feelings. These are facts. They're all worst. This year, his numbers are all-time worst.
You know what? I'm agreeing with you.
He's in his prime. Why would a guy in his prime have the worst numbers of his career? And that's what I'm saying. That's the separation. You talk about the Super Bowl, but they can't find you not one performance in the Super Bowl to put him in the top 25. This ain't the top 5 moments, the top 3 moments. They're saying he's not even in the top 25. This is Michael Jordan. This is Jordan-esque. No, it ain't. It's nice. He's had a tremendous career. Let him stand on his own 2 feet. Get off of Michael Jordan.
Asked the question.
He's not Michael Jordan. No Chris, no Kelvin, nobody who's going to host a show 10 years from now. No. He's not Jordan-esque.
Jordan, he might end up, and if it's quite possible, he could have 4 Super Bowl rings by the age while he's 27 years old. That's crazy. And for you not to acknowledge how crazy that is, for him to win at such a high clip is crazy. For him to make the right play is absolutely remarkable. And when you say it down season,
you act like the coach doesn't play anything into Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yes, I'm glad you brought that up because Michael Jordan didn't win until he got Phil Jackson. If you really want to bring coaches up, Michael Jordan was just a scoring dude.
Did Phil Jackson score a basket?
Did Andy Reid throw a touchdown pass?
No, but my point is they went to 4 NFC championship games in Pittsburgh. They won with Alex Smith. They were in the playoffs. They just couldn't win playoff games. But all I'm saying is Andy Reid Everybody who's played under that system has excelled.
Phil Jackson. Every time Kobe and Shaq didn't win nothing, Shaq didn't win nothing until he got Phil Jackson. Michael Jordan didn't win anything until he got Phil Jackson. So we can do the same thing.
No, we can't do that.
What are you talking about? Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant won all of his rings with who? Michael Jordan won all of his rings with who?
Did you look
so
at
then
the
if we want to do that, if we want to do the coaches thing, then there's some of the two of the top 3, 4, 6 greatest basketball players on. We can say, well, y'all wouldn't have been nothing if y'all didn't have Phil Jackson.
You don't
Shaq,
even believe
Kobe,
that. You're gonna
Jordan.
say that you really believe Michael Jordan won a championship with a different coach?
No, 6.
No, I'm asking you.
Yes, he would have won 6.
Okay, all
I
right,
can't tell you he would have won 6. He'll tell you he
Michael Jordan
6.
won all 6 MVPs. Michael Jordan was that guy, averaged 30 points in the postseason. I don't care what plays were they drawing up for him.
Greatest basketball player of all time. That is undeniable. But who has a potential to be the greatest football player of all time?
Mahomes had
Patrick
a chance
Mahomes.
to beat Brady in the biggest moment. He couldn't do that. He didn't beat Brady. You want to talk about that was a moment that you want to talk about supplanting somebody and saying somebody's Jordan-esque? He had a chance to do it. He didn't get it done.
You know what's crazy? Tom Brady played till he was about 40, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Patrick Mahomes still has 17 years to go. We very well may be looking at the greatest football player to ever live because God knows how gaudy his numbers and his accolades will be.
Can I give
in
you
another
Patrick Mahomes?
12 to 15 years.
Let me give you Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl numbers. You ready?
Yes.
This is the one that you're saying is Jordan-esque in the Super Bowl. 65% completion, 267 passing yards, right? Okay. 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions and a passer rating of 85. You know how much lower that is than his career in the Super Bowl? It's an 85. That's why he's not on the top 25 list of moments for quarterbacks because he hasn't performed that well. And I'm not saying that they haven't won, but we give too much credit to quarterbacks. 7 touchdowns and 5 picks is not Jordan-esque. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Here's the difference why I think why Jordan is the greatest, and I'm saying he has a chance to get there, is simply because he has 10, 12, 13 more years. If he wins,
you don't keep winning when you go that far. Let me stop you.
What do you mean? Tom Brady just literally won.
No. Tom Brady went 9 years in between his championships. He went 9 years without winning. Nobody remembers that. And that can happen. Andy Reid can retire. The team is already coming undone. They don't have money for everybody. They're losing people, whatnot. You think they're going to win at the same clip? You think Andy Reid's going to coach 10 years?
He doesn't have to the same way Tom Brady didn't. Tom Brady had years off, multiple years, you just mentioned, and came back and won. So if he wins this year, that's 4. If he don't win again for 5 more years.
Say he doesn't win this year. Now, if he doesn't win this year and then Finn plays 10 more years and doesn't win, you still think he's Jordan-esque?
Yeah, the dude came in the league. Yeah, is he still putting up crazy numbers? Yes.
No, but he's not. That's what I'm saying. He's in his prime. He's not putting up crazy numbers now.
What I'm saying is, if he continues to ball out and have 12-1 season, and that's extreme. So let's say he loses 3 or 4 for another 5, 10 years, as you mentioned. Then yes, it could very well be that if he gets to a Super Bowl but loses, or he gets to AFC Championship. My point is, what he has done already, Jordan didn't do for years. He already has done it by 27. Jordan won his first one.
You know who he beat in the Super Bowl? Garoppolo, Hurts, and Purdy. Those are the guys they beat.
Don't make me pull up some of the guys Joe Montana beat. Your guy.